What's up, everybody out there in television land and the internet? Michael Hurdle here from the Michael Hurdle Production Studio, helping you render your imagination when it comes to video production, 3D animation, and visual effects, and of course now skateboards and helmets on a small or no budget at all. I just wanted to take the time out to say, what up, you skateboarders out there? I just wanted to take the minute out to talk about the boosted board remote control. Everywhere I go, I've noticed that people who don't know anything about boosted boards, or if you're a brand new person to getting a boosted board, this remote control can get a little complicated, but the boosted board is a completely different beast. So let's get straight into it. Let me turn this controller off so we can start from the beginning. I'm gonna flip this boosted board upside down. I have something holding it, so just in case I give it some throttle, this thing won't fly to hell. All right, let's break it down. Boosted board logo, of course. The LED indicators to know what mode you're on and your battery life. Little picture of the boosted board and the battery. This little circle with waves coming out of it. This will be more like for your Bluetooth connection, and it'll give you a little LED right here as well. Same thing for your controller's battery LED as well too. It has a battery here and it has a picture of a shape of your controller. So right here for this last LED here is telling you the status of your controller's battery power. And of course it's the Bluetooth connection, and this symbol here is indicating the status of your board. Right here with the three little dots in the middle of here, this little cutout is to turn your controller on. So we'll go over here. So right now, this little switch right here, or this little trigger, a lot of people call it the dead man switch. I don't like that damn name because I ain't trying to be no dead man. But, you know, just in case you happen to fall off the board will stop, allegedly. It depends on how fast your ass is going. So this is the dead man switch. This right here is a throttle up to go forward and back down for brake and to reverse. That can get complicated. I think that was one of the most complicated things that I had to deal with this controller, was pulling back for reverse and also brake. So, and then right here on the bottom, you have a little cutout here so you can put your lanyards or something to hold it. Now, most likely, these lanyards here come in freaking handy. Because how many times have I been riding, almost slipped off the board? First reaction is to open up your hands. The lanyard is safe. You know how much this freaking remote control costs? This remote control costs over $1 with shipping. So ain't nobody want to try to hear that right there. So let's move on. Get this lanyard off. On the bottom of the boosted board controller is a USB port, one of the old school USB ports too. So I know you guys have one of those USB laying around in your house. And just in case let me just get this. Just in case you guys don't realize what the controller looks like, what the USB charger looks like, here it is right here. And what it'll do, it'll go inside of the boosted board's controller, and then you plug it into either your computer or anything like that, and it will still charge. I still have not realized how long this controller takes to charge. I'm assuming it takes as long as the boosted board, but I doubt it because this battery is bigger. But I think the controller definitely charges in less time than the boosted board. So now you have your boosted board, or boosted board stealth, because I think all the boosted boards, they all share the same exact controller kind of, if I'm correct, for the second generation. So what I like to do is power the controller on first by holding down the power button, and then you see these indicators come on right here. You see these orange indicators went up? Right here is a green light indicating that the remote control has power, and it has enough power to keep the controller on. Now, in order for you to sync this with the boosted board, you have to turn the boosted board on as well. Now, I turn the boosted board on last. I hold the button for like 3 seconds, and then, as you can see right here, boosted board is green here, of course, on the boosted board's battery. But then all of a sudden, you see right here, there's a blue flashing light indicating that now it's connected with the boosted board stealth. You can use the boosted board's app, which I use, and you can just, with the controller on and the boosted board on, you can toggle through different cycles of speed. So right now, if you look at this blue light blinking right here, it's going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So that means it's on mode 2. Now, if you want to go to mode 3, just simply click this button on the bottom 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now it's in mode 3. And you can see from this little blue button here, 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3. So even if you don't see on the remote control what mode you're on, this blue indicator should be blinking how many times before it comes to a second or 2 pause. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that means you're on mode 3. So let's say you wanted to go to mode 4. You would hit the same button 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. And it beeps 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means you're in the 4th mode. This is the boosted board stealth here. So it has 5 modes. It has from beginner all the way to hyper. Hyper being the 5th mode. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're in mode 4. You want to go to hyper now. Do the same thing again. Triple click the button. 1, 2, 3. Now you have 5 beeps indicating that you're in the 5th mode. Now let's just say you wanted to go back down to mode 4 without having to cycle back. So let's just say 1, 2, 3 would loop you back to mode 1. And then here you go. You'll see it beep once. 1, stop, 1, stop. But let's just say instead of having to cycle all the way back up, you want to go back to mode 5. So I like to call it the middle finger trick. I know this may be offensive, but this is how I do it. Index finger. I take my index finger. I put it right here. Then I take my ring finger and my pinky and I put it here away from the dead man switch. Then I give it a middle finger because I do not want to have this dead man switch pushed or pressed in while I do what I'm about to do. So I do the middle finger with the index finger here. Then what I can do is I can hold the throttle back and then hit it 3 times again. 1, 2, 3. Now it's at 5. Now I can go back down to 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3. Now it's in 3rd mode. Now let's just say I wanted to toggle between mode 3, which is on right now, and I wanted to go to mode 4. I can just simply 1, 2, 3. Now it's at 4. But let's just say I wanted to go back to mode 3. Middle finger again. Back. 1, 2, 3. See, so it's toggling back and forth without you having to cycle back throughout the entire thing. Now, let's just say you bought a new boosted board remote control replacement and you wanted to sync it with your new board's motherboard. What you have to do now is hit that same button 5 times. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's syncing. Well, most likely you have to turn the board on. Then you would hit that button 5 times if it was a brand new board and it had to sync. Right now, the blue button is lighting. I don't know what it's because it's blinking in a different format. So that means that it may or may not be sunk to this board. So let's see. Yeah, see, even with the dead man switch. Now let's see. There we go. So I hit it 5 more times and it came back to the boosted board. Now, I know hopefully this video is not long. I'm trying to make it as short as possible. Now, if you're looking at this boosted board, you have the dead man switch. You have to hold the dead man switch and then give it throttle. It's pressure sensitive. So look. See? Pressure sensitive. So I'm just giving it a little bit of throttle. The more you give is the faster the board goes. This is not even fully cranked. I'm going to crank it all the way. That was just mode 3. A lot of people say it's not really recommended to have your boosted board upside down and be running the controller, so I wouldn't recommend that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the board upside down, or right side up, but I'm gonna have it on this little thing here, so when I give it a little test, the board won't fly away because this thing has some freaking kick to it. This thing has some torque. You would swear that there was 5 horses connected to this boosted board and it was pulling you every time you push this button. The boosted board will not move without the dead man switch compressed in. Now, let's just say you give it some throttle without the dead man switch connected. It won't go anywhere, but let's just say you hold this throttle, right, to where you feel comfortable. You hold this throttle right here. It's not going anywhere, but as soon as you hit that trigger, just in case you're new to boosted board or the boosted board stealth, or you just were curious on how this thing works, that's how it works. The only thing before I go is that when I hit back, the boosted board just goes in reverse. That is also braking as well. Because when you're going a certain speed and then you pull back, it goes backwards. And it took me a while to discover how to balance out between going backwards and actually braking. When you come to a complete stop or somewhat stop, do not keep your finger cranked on this reverse, because this board has slipped from under me, fling me off, and went under trucks that was in the middle of the street that was parked up waiting for the light. And I was like, thank God they weren't moving, because they would have ripped my board in half. This thing is powerful. This is not a toy. This is an electric vehicle. If any of you parents are thinking about getting their children this, remember this is a very fast vehicle. This goes 24 miles an hour. Trust me, I've done 23 on this. So now that you know what you need to know about the Boosted Boards controller, this is the Boosted Board Stealth, by the way, but they all use the same kind of controller format. Let's take this bad boy outside for a small spin. And it's cold as hell out there, but I'm still going out there, son. Let's be out. Aha, there we go, there we go. Now we're picking up some momentum. Yo, what's up, bro? All right? GoPro, stop recording.